Yo, black people gotta get that shit out here. Niggas sold us, bro. A nigga sold us, and
Yeah,
then we went
that's facts. And still selling us.
somewhere that wasn't where
Well,
we was from no
what
more.
happened was divide and conquer. You know what I mean? So it's just
Yeah.
like
Divide this.
it's just like if you go anywhere and it's division, you know, you break them off and you break them off and you come back and get the other ones that initially ratted on the first ones. You know what I mean? That's what happened. Instead of attacking them at one time, they was able to systematically do it because of jealousy, envy, and greed.
Yo,
And
The
guess what?
same stuff that happens today.
Yeah, there's about
go.
that's
If
going
y'all go and pull
back.
up the Tanzanian president,
Mm-hmm.
he has a whole documentary about his family, bro. How Tanzania is rich as a motherfucker. That's why one of those, like, they're one of the African countries who, I mean, well, cities that have all the nice little
Tanzania.
buildings and shit, and you go there look like a fucking resort, like you in little Africa, America, because they're fucking their grandfathers and all them so
I was more than their grandfather.
I'm just saying, like, they great you know what the fuck I mean,
Go back.
but it go all the way back to the slavery where they never have no issues and they'll never be touched because they did what the queen and all them wanted to do. They rich, they never gonna get fucked with. They own diamond mines. Like, if y'all go and listen to Akon tell you that the reason why his family owned those diamond mines and he owned them is because they sold fucking slaves. They sold a couple people for slaves.
Yeah, he sold stolen cars too.
And then you got to think about it, right? Black people were supposed to get 40 acres in the mill. They gave us a 40 in a corner. That's all we got. We ain't get
a 40 in a what?
A 40 corner. Yeah, they pay the Jews their residuals. They get them all of their coins. We don't get a motherfucker.
Because y'all ain't gonna do nothing. Because y'all just talking.
Facts.
Because y'all just talk. That's why. We just talk
instead of fighting for that shit like the Jews did to get that shit, we still talk about yesterday.
Because we can't come together as a people. Only time we can come together is when something happens to us by the police.
Coming together is a choice.
It sure is. Diamond, you can quote all you want.
If rape is a choice, using your logic, rape is a choice.
No, rape is not a choice.
Why? Slavery was a choice. Slavery and rape is cousins.
Someone choosing to rape someone is their choice, but don't nobody say, "Hey, let me lay down here and get raped." You're gonna fight back. Them African motherfuckers.
Some people don't fight back. So the people that didn't fight back wanted to get raped, right?
No, see, you doing too much.
Well, what's the difference?
You're doing too much.
What's the difference?
No, Diamond, that's not.
The logic different because now it's like they said, like back then, the mindset for them, they weren't thinking about, oh, someone's gonna come over here and fucking destroy my little town, and then next thing you know, we be face down and ass up on some boat. You know what I mean?
Y'all telling me if some motherfuckers come right now and say, try to gather us,
people that were born enslaved, right? That didn't know anything but being enslaved. Those were the ones that it was difficult for them because that's all they knew. The people that came from another country and knew what freedom was, I'm sure a lot of them did fight, and I'm sure a lot of them died, right? And you don't hear about the slave revolts because they don't want to tell you about it. But it did happen. You know what I mean? And
why you think they created? Why you think
DJ was mentioning in Roman times they had 3 servile wars, and you had a lot of uprisings, and so sometimes they talk about them, but a lot of in this country they don't want to talk about it because they don't want people to information get that kind of information.
I got
a woman who's in an abusive relationship that stays there, right? It's like the same type of thing. So mentally, she could physically leave, right? She could leave, she go work every day, but she's being abused, and so her mind is controlled.
He's been
down the steps and all that shit.
Right? She could have killed him in his sleep 1,000,000 times, but she was scared.
You gotta think about it, right? You gotta think about it.